I started my first business at 19, a small restaurant in Nairobi. I thought I was building an empire, but I did not know what I was walking into. The dream to start my own restaurant came after I visited some really nice restaurants in Nairobi, and seeing the quality of service and the food, it inspired me to start my own restaurant. I wanted to also to have a really nice franchise. So I knew I did not have the capital to begin a really huge restaurant project. So instead, with the help of my mom, I was able to get a small kibanda. So a kibanda is not really a restaurant, but it is a stall big enough to cook and can accommodate a few customers, not more than 15. So my mom helped me to go and buy utensils, jikos, plates, everything that was needed, and we moved into the stall and we were able to set up our kibanda. The first half of the first month, we didn't really start with selling food. We managed to employ somebody who would hawk mandazi and tea. So we would make mandazis here at home with the help of my mom, and then we'll take them to the kibanda where the woman will make the tea there, and then she will start hawking. So that way I was able to build up some good profit, which I later reinvested into the business to start the first menu. After some time, our customers began asking for food from us, and this is where our first menu came in. Our first menu was simple and contained only 2 dishes: fish and ugali, served with a vegetable of one's choice, either cabbage or kales, and then we had ugali and meat, which would also be served with either cabbage or kales. Since we had now expanded, we needed extra help, so we ended up employing a woman who will mainly do the cooking. This is where my first mistake came in. Instead of doing my own market research, which I didn't even know I needed to do, I asked our employees how we should price our food. Since they had worked before in the same environment, I thought their advice would be really good, and ended up making my first biggest mistake. This mistake comes to ruin the business later on. Surprisingly, our food menu did so well. Customers liked our food, and we gained a lot of new customers, and we were just continuing to expand to reach a point where we could give our employees bonuses, and we were saving, and there was some profit which we could use elsewhere. At this point, I started really seeing my future goal. I thought of how I would be able to expand into a really huge restaurant and get 5-star reviews from nearly everyone. After getting to know our employees, we began to realize that they were mainly from broken houses. They had their own challenges that they were facing, whether they were single mothers or they had abusive husbands. This began to affect the business, because now they couldn't give their 100 towards the business, and they also were missing some days. Around the same time, which was somewhere in September, the prices of flour and cooking oil had really gone up. But we did not change the prices of any of our dishes. We kept them the same. This made our first biggest challenge, and our sales started dipping. Also, around the same time, we lost some of our customers. Whether they found other better restaurants, or it is that they found that there was monotony in our food. I did not know. So we had really low sales towards that month. We also had to change one of our employees. It was the cook, because now her family issues were really inhibiting her from doing any proper work. My mom also had to travel out of the country to go and attend to some pressing matters. So now the business was all on my shoulders. Mental and emotional pressure starts to hit. With the crisis of inflation still lingering around, I decided to reinvent the menu. I made it such that the cost of production is not as expensive. So I removed fish from the menu and introduced pilau, chapati, and anchovies. These were all really popular dishes that our customers had frequently requested before. Making this change, I faced a lot of resistance from my employees. They wanted me to consult with my mom about every little decision. But I managed to convince them, and we were able to launch this new menu. The first week of this menu, it was really nice. We were really happy. It did really well. We were able to now see the profits that we hadn't seen in a really long time. Unfortunately, there was a huge pile of debt that had to be paid. So most of the profits went into paying the debts. My mom had used up our savings for travel, since she wouldn't have expected such a thing to happen. During this time, I found myself putting way more effort into the business. I stopped doing anything else that I was doing, and I solely focused on the restaurant because it really needed my attention. I would do research and try to find different ways of solving the current problems we had, and maybe even future problems. Research is what actually made me come to reinvent the menu and make it. In my research, I came to overlook one crucial detail which was way out of my control: the employees. This whole time, I was focused on the outward part of the business, how I can make it more appealing to customers, how we can get more customers, and how we can improve our food. I did not really think that my employees, I needed to keep an eye on them. I needed to make sure that they're working, and I needed to, everything concerning employee management I was completely unaware of. This came to become a huge problem during the second week of the new menu. I came to realize late that my employees were not working as hard as I was, or maybe as they should. I also came to realize that the business was not theirs, it was mine, and they were here for salary. So if the business was to close, they would probably just go and get another job somewhere else where maybe they'll be paid better, or the working conditions are better. So the person who would really hurt when it came to closing of the business would be me. During the first week, there was early signs of a comeback, but then reality hit again. I started reading a lot of economic books and started watching a lot of YouTube videos that could maybe help me with management and how to handle such hard times in general. That is when I came to a realization that our prices were really bad. The cost of production was way more than the cost per dish. In order for us to make profit, we needed to sell more than 50 dishes a day. This was really hard to meet because, first of all, I did not have the capital to be able to invest into trying to make 50 dishes. We do not have enough manpower to make 50 dishes, and we do not even have enough customers who will sell all those 50 dishes to per day. At this point, I really became burnt out. So were my employees. Everyone was tired, we were burnt out. They had really been pushing through. From time to time, I would ask my mom to send me money so that I can be able to open each and every day. It was really hard. It reached a point where one of my employees quit, and I had to actually take an active role in helping the other one in either buying ingredients for the day or general cleaning of the restaurant. I came to realize no matter how much money I kept on receiving from my mom, I would fall into the same cycle of not having enough money to continue the business. And this was mainly because of poor pricing. So my final attempt was I was going to increase the prices. I was really skeptical about this because I was scared of losing customers. I was scared that most of them would go to other restaurants, maybe cheaper restaurants that they knew of, or something else. So since it was the final attempt and it was the last thing I could do, I decided to increase the prices by a little, not much, 25 shillings, which is around 19 cents in US dollars. And I made the menu. It's not a new menu, the same menu, new prices, and I wrote a letter or an explanation that will reach our customers. Should I say expectedly, they reacted as I had thought. Most of them rejected the proposal, and I knew that without increasing prices, I wouldn't be able to sustain the restaurant. Even some corporations which we were delivering food to refused our proposal. I actually thought that they would be the one to support us because I thought they were corporations. In early November, I was forced to shut down. I closed with a lot of debts. Luckily, my suppliers were understanding, and we were able to come with an agreement that I will pay the debt off slowly, and I finished up paying off all my debts as of now. After all that, I fell into depression. I started thinking of myself as a failure, and repeat all this in my head. I went silent on all my social medias. I was not talking to anyone. I kept my distance from all my friends. I would not leave the house. I would just stay inside, scrolling throughout the whole day, and I was not productive at all. It had really left some huge damage to my ego, my confidence, and even my mind, how I looked at myself, how I thought of the world. And to me, at that moment, I thought I would never ever try again to do anything. I think I had set my mind that if I was to try anything new, I would just fail. I would say I'm really lucky because of my family. They helped me throughout this time. They allowed me time to heal, and from time to time they gave me some advice. This was truly a journey that no course will have ever taught me. I really learned about pricing, leadership, and management, the importance of those three. I also learned the importance of cash flow. Yeah, it was like a life-changing experience, if that's how I'm going to put it. Next time, if I'm ever going to do another such a thing, which I definitely will, I'll make sure to do plenty of research. But I know I cannot totally be ready for my next journey, and I'll take my time and put in a lot of effort. I'm sharing this story of mine not because I want pity, but because I know I'm not the first, neither am I the last person to go through such a thing. I want this to be an encouragement to those who've gone through such a thing, that they are not alone in this world. Always find somebody to be with. And for those who are yet to experience it, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I want them to see that there's a reality beyond your dreams. I want to encourage those who want to start something, be it a business or a new hobby, that you do not need to be perfect to start. But when you start, make sure that you learn fast. If you have ever failed in business or in life, I'd love to hear your story down in the comments below. And for those who have advice, I'd also love to hear it. Let's build a strong community together.